Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today. I do truly appreciate it, and I have done it again. I've Kickstartered. So I'm a Kickstarter. Like your bike, you take your bike and wham, put your foot down, I just shoved my foot out. Kickstarted it. I'm a Kickstarter, and I kickstarted another book from James Aquilone. He's worked with Monstrous books, and he's worked with others, Moonstone books. I don't know who all he's worked with, but anyway, I've Kickstartered some books from James Aquilone from some different publishers, and this one I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to show you all about it in just a minute. But what I've done with James Aquilone is I've Kickstartered some books from him before. This one is called Classic Monsters Unleashed, and it's a collection of universal classic horror stories, not stories, but stories about characters and adjacent characters. And that one I was so excited about, I couldn't wait to get that one coming. Then the next one was here, Shakespeare Unleashed, and this one features a story by one of my favorite authors, a couple of my favorite authors on God's green earth, and that is Philip Fracassi and Joe R. Lansdale, as well as Casey Lansdale. I'm a big fan also. I've read some of her stories, and I'm a fan. But Shakespeare Unleashed, another cool collection of stories, Shakespeare horror. And then something of which I've been a fan my entire life, almost my entire life, and that is KOLCHAK. He did a graphic novel here called KOLCHAK, Enter the Night Stalker's Monster of the Week Gallery. And this one was a graphic novel, signed by the artist there. But very cool, very cool. So all these things were books that I had to Kickstarter by James Aquilone. And what do you know? The guy went out and he did it again. Forced me to Kickstarter something else. I mentioned KOLCHAK, and I mentioned it was a TV series that I loved. This reporter and was investigating. He was a reporter for a small paper, and he's investigating these stories running into all sorts of monsters and vampires and goblins and all sorts of different things. Now, this story, KOLCHAK the Night Stalker, was a movie, and it was based on a book that was written by Jeff Rice, based on a book. So the book is not a true novelization. The movie was after the book, was made after the book, and then the book was published after the movie. So it looks like a novelization, but it is not. And I have that one. That one is The Night Stalker by Pocket Books. It's neat. Sprayed edges. Really cool. When was it published? It was published, when were it published by Pocket Books? It was published in 1973. That is The Night Stalker. Must be Italian. Well, James Aquilone couldn't leave good enough alone when good enough wasn't good enough. You've got a book called The Night Stalker, KOLCHAK, all that stuff, and it's just a little paperback book, mass market paperback book. That's nice to have. I had to have it, but it's not good enough. So good enough was not good enough. That's why he couldn't leave it alone. Well enough alone. But it is here. We have now a limited hardcover version of that. And as soon as I saw that it was available, I could not pass it up. There was no question, no ifs, ands, or buts allowed. I had to order this thing, Kickstarter it, and ask for a hardcover version of it just as quick as I could. And he shipped it in a box. Now it's a tight box, but look at the way the box is built. So when the corners get busted like this one did, the inner box where the book is does a little bit better. So we're gonna hope for the best. Now I open it up, and inside it's wrapped a little more tightly so it's not sliding around, and then it's also wrapped in a bubble envelope. Now there's something else in here, and one of the problems I've always had with Kickstarter is I often don't really know what I'm getting. I wanted the hardcover book. I wanted the limited edition hardcover book, and that's what I ordered. And I usually don't know what else there is, or if there is anything else, but there is. and that's always cool. So here we have, this is just more awesome in person than I would have expected by a description. So let me take it out of this little sleeve, if I may. Well, I don't want to mess anything up. The sleeve is neat, a coin sleeve. But I got a coin and it's heavy. Don't know what it's made out of. And on one side, you have Monstrous books, and there is the monster from the Night Stalker, the vampire-ish sort of fiend. And then even better, KOLCHAK the Night Stalker and KOLCHAK We Trust, 1972. So the book was written before the movie, but the movie came out before the book, just the way it goes. And that is awesome. You can see it all stands up. What are these words? Just words, but it all stands up, man. It's so cool. That is awesome. And then also back in the 80s, us kids like to wear buttons. Buttons on your hats, buttons on your coats, buttons on your shirt, buttons on everything. And here it is, a KOLCHAK the Night Stalker button. And gosh, it's just so cool. And now what I actually ordered was a hardcover book. Limited edition hardcover book. Now, limited edition can mean a lot of things. Sometimes when we say limited edition, you think numbered edition, as an assigned limited edition. But in reality, you're talking about a book that's only so many of them made. Limited edition, I think that's what I'm expecting here. But it is a library bound, as in the artwork is printed directly on the cover. So it is a hardcover book, no dust jacket as made. No dust jacket. This is from Monstrous Books, cover by Russ Braun, monstrousbooks.com. And you see sprayed edges, just like that paperback book that I showed you there. It does have a built-in ribbon page marker, all sorts of extra little neat features. And at a glance, it looks like it is even a sewn binding. So I think I paid $35 for this book. Kickstarted it, I think it was $35. Already, I've shown you more than $35 worth of stuff. When you go to your local Barnes & Noble book and you buy yourself a hardcover for whatever they go for, you usually don't get all this cool stuff. And this is that original novel by Jeff Rice, KOLCHAK the Night Stalker. So what James Aquilone has done is he's done what should have been done many, many years ago, 50 years ago. My math is 50-something years ago. 52 years ago, what they should have done was made a hardcover version of this book, and it should have had sprayed edges, built-in ribbon page marker, sewn binding, and artwork by Russ Braun. I don't even know if Russ Braun was alive in those days. I was not. I can't claim that. But the original novel. And hey, I opened it up, and there's stuff in here. So what's in here? What's in here? We got a fan club membership. So I'm officially a member of the KOLCHAK fan club. This certifies that the bearer is a certified member in good standing, publisher James Aquilone. So I'm official, which is nice. And you can't take that away from me because I got the card. I'm a card-carrying member of the KOLCHAK fan club and press for the Las Vegas Daily News. Name Carl KOLCHAK, position reporter, editor Anthony Vincenzo, issued 1972. This certifies that the holder of this card is a credited member of the press. So, man, it's my lucky day. It is indeed my lucky day. And then here, it is a card. It is a card kind of bigger than a card. Bigger than a postcard, but similar in size. And it is the cover artwork, a small print. Man, it's just cool stuff. Cool stuff therein. And what else? What else is in here? So look at our end papers. The end papers just look so nice. $35 is what I kickstarted this book for. What do you know? And did I get my money's worth? I've already got my money's worth. 75 million viewers. A television record. So a little bit of an intro by James Aquilone. As I'm flipping through, I'm looking to see what kind of stuff is on the inside, and it looks like, just show you stuff as I go. It looks like there are some illustrations. There's our table of contents. It looks like there are some more illustrations like that along the tops of some of these chapter headings. I'll just show you as I go what it looks like on the inside. So you see that paper there. It's not white. It's kind of almost like I got a background sort of color to it. KOLCHAK, the Night Stalker. David Malchian, March of 2024. A bit of an introduction there. And what else? What else as I thumb through? So you can see the chapter headings. You got some illustration there. KOLCHAK banging away on his typewriter. And there we go. We have the monster from the original movie. What else? I just passed by something. So KOLCHAK was a novel. It was a movie. And it was a television series. All sorts of cool stuff. And we do have interior illustrations. At least one. So I don't want to miss stuff. I'd like to flip through and show you what I find. There is, look at there. There's more. So, golly, $35. I just can't get over what I got compared to what I paid for. I strongly recommend following James Aquilone. Strongly recommend keeping up with what he's doing. Kickstarter the projects that appeal to you. Because every one, when I've gotten them in the mail, what I've gotten has been fabulous. Wonderful. In a word, terrific. So it's terrific. Great stuff here. And I'm going to just try to flip through and see if I can find some more of these black and white illustrations, which I honestly didn't expect. I didn't think it had. So I saw some of the chapter heading pictures, and as I'm going through, I'm finding things I did not know were in here. And that's great, man. Getting more than what I paid for. Getting more than what I expected when I paid for what I paid for. It's good, man. Good stuff. The sprayed page edges. I hear children in the background. But I think there may be a few more interior illustrations. There are, man. This is great stuff here. I'm so glad. This is much, much more than I expected. I was hoping to get it in just to have a hardcover version of KOLCHAK, the Night Stalker. And what I've got was so much better than that. More along the lines of a definitive edition. I mean, Jeff Rice is I don't know if he's still alive or not, but he's a guy that, from what I understand, kind of fell off the face of the earth in terms of he wasn't out doing signings and things like that. I don't know. I don't want to pretend to know, but he was a hard guy to find, from what I understand. And one more thing I'll show you while we're here. We got all our gear and stuff. I one time ordered this from Moonstone, KOLCHAK the Night Stalker, a small graphic novel. But I ordered this thing because it was signed by the author Jeff Rice. Best wishes, Jeff Rice, and ballpoint pen, no less. But I ordered that just to get the signature. It may be the only Jeff Rice signature I ever see. And I'm a big fan of the KOLCHAK stuff. Really glad to be able to find some cool additions to my collection. So I can think of no more lies to tell. I sure do appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for your time. C'est la vie, baby.